Hey everyone, real quick, if you haven't already, please hit the like button, share this video on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever social media platform you use, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Those are the three biggest things you can do to help our channel grow and to support our channel. That brings me to my next thing. A lot of people have been asking about how they can support us. And while we appreciate the offer to give monetary donations, we just don't accept them. What you can do instead is there's a link down below in the description. That link will take you to Farm Focus website that has our Freedom Farms merchandise on it. All of our apparel on there is 100% made in the USA. The shirt is made here, the decals are made here, and then they're put on the shirts all here in the United States. There's also decals on there, and shortly there'll be sweatshirts. So if you're interested in that stuff, please go check out Farm Focus website. The link is down below in the description. It'll take you straight to our shop. Thank you and enjoy the videos. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, think about subscribing. There's going to be several videos of this barn build. It is going to take probably about 20 videos worth to show the whole build from start to finish. The concrete work and the dirt work was done by Armstrong Concrete, but everything else structure-wise, my wife and I did. So I hope you enjoy it. We're going to stop and try to give you tips and tricks along the way, but you're going to need more than that to build a barn on your own. So don't think that we're going to teach you the entire way to do it. You need to do a lot of research on your own before building your own structure. So I hope you enjoyed the videos, and if you haven't already, hit that like button. Morning everybody. Day 3 is beginning. We're just getting out here to get everything set up, and then we'll get started. Like we mentioned in the last video, we fell short of our goal by a little bit, but that's okay. We'll catch up today. Excuse me. We'll finish the purlins on all the walls, and we'll have all the walls up all the way around. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
Oh, it won't be that bad. The purlins are pretty quick.
I'm sore today.
You were sore yesterday.
I'm sore today too.
You're getting old.
No.
Either way, we'll get as far as we can. All right, let's get started. You driving?
No. Bad idea.
Knock over all the whole build, huh?
Maybe not the whole, but maybe a wall. And then you probably won't make the mistake twice of letting me drive.
We don't have any more. Well, the last thing to be delivered is metal. I think that's next week. I hope it's next week. Because once we get the trusses up, that's all we can do is metal. So. Let's get started. So we're going to show you how we're doing our spacing in order to make it simple and we don't have to measure everything out and mark it. We're basically using blocks to space it. And how it's going to work is, so for the bottom, because like I said on the video yesterday, I don't want any of my 2x4s or any wood that's not treated to be on that concrete, because any moisture that gets into it, it's going to have to go to that, it's going to get soaked in by that board. So I put my 2 spacers on here because for those very bottom purlins, I want them to be 3 inches off the ground or off the concrete. I do that very simply by taking 2 2x6 or even 2x4s, whichever you want or happen to have on hand, or any 2x material. Cut 2 pieces of it. They can be thin pieces just like these. These are only 1 inch wide, roughly. Stack them on top of each other because they're, how wide is a 2x4? Or how thick is a 2x4 or 2x6 or 2x8?
1.5.
There you go. So 1.5 inches, obviously times 2, that's my 3 inches.
Still makes no sense.
Look, I don't make the rules. People get cheap. Honestly, I think it's more along the lines of they've refined the way they make lumber and they've actually made it to where it's stronger than what it used to be. I think that is part of it. Or they were just overdoing it like we do on a lot of things when we build something, and now they've made it to where, look, you don't have to spend so much to build it. Could be either way. Anyway, so lift up that end. So Chris is going to lift that end up. She's going to flush it with the very end of the stud down there, hopefully. It's hard to do with one hand. Good?
Yep.
All right. So this is what I'm saying. This is how it'll be the whole way down. So we'll have that space between our concrete all the way down. And then I already have the spacers built, those 25-inch ones, which I'll show you here shortly. All right, we got our base pattern set. So you can see the first one, full 20 feet. The second one, 15 feet. The third one, 10 feet. The first one, or the fourth one, the top one, is 4 feet. Now, when we put our trusses on, there's actually gonna be another one that's at the very top of the trusses, on the very top of the trusses. It's really a roof purling. We're gonna use it for both. We're gonna use it to attach metal from the side and then also from the top for the roof. It'll work out very well. It's how our other barn is too. It's a very common practice. We have ours spaced out more. So like a common number is actually 2 foot on center. We didn't do that because it's just not needed. Here in South Central Missouri, the biggest issues we ever have is wind. And actually what's gonna help us more with wind is not purlings, is actually going to be when we put our trusses up. So from the top of, I guess I can show you right here. Actually, I'll show you right here. So from the top, right, you got, this is our truss. The trusses for the other barn are a little bit bigger, but it's gonna be the same concept. So from right there down to the wall right about there, there's going to be an angle brace. And that's going to make the building much more rigid. The purlings do make it rigid, but at the end of the day, for the issues that we're gonna have, which would be wind pushing from like this side to this side, because this over here is west and that is east, obviously. This is north. The north winds are pretty strong, but it's a very narrow wall. 40 feet's not that bad, and it's got the whole building to kind of absorb it. So it's got a really large footprint going to the rear of it. If we got a wind from the south, it's really only gonna be this area right here that catches it, and then the little bit of the purling or the roof that sticks above our current barn. Other than that, it's gonna be just fine. There's not gonna be enough wind to really hurt it. Like I said, our biggest issue is gonna be the crosswinds, and that's why we're gonna do the braces coming off the trusses. All right, water break, and then we'll get back to it. We're replacing our basket. We had this giant pallet that is super sturdy. It's made out of 2x6s. They're laminated together. There's 3 of them going across. Well, anyways, so we just filled in the top so that you can step on it without falling through a hole. And on the bottom, across where these blocks sit up high enough so you can get the forks in. So we put one underneath of it on each set of blocks and put multiple screws in each one, 4 in each block, so that if somebody walks to one side and it tries to tip, this is gonna hold it from coming off the forks. When we get back from eating lunch real quick, I'll hop up on this platform that we made and start adding all these. So the reason that we cut them, if you had a building that was completely open, right, so like nothing around it, you could just leave them hang off the end, not a big deal, and then run all your purlins and everything, and then come back and cut your ends off right there. But we don't have that option because some of it's in the way, so we're just doing it this way. But anyways, I'll hop on this platform, we'll run them down. We made a spacer so same concept we did down here, the 3-inch spacers. I cut a board at 32.5 so that the purlings on the side are 3 foot on center until it gets to the top. At the top it'll be a shorter distance, but it won't be a short enough distance to throw anything out of whack. Basically the purlings or the trusses are going to stick up about 8 inches from the top of that board, or the top of this top plate, and then on top of that will be the purling. So it'll have, the top only have like 2 feet between the this purling and the one that we're going to attach the very top of the metal on the walls to. And if you're looking and you notice it, yes, the walls are leaning out, and the reason being is because the concrete, the top of the wall, while yes it is flat, it's not perfectly flat. So we're going to loosen our bolts when we go to put our trusses up. So we'll loosen all these bolts that are holding it down, because right now it's pulling it tight, and it's pulling it tight like this, and it's sinking the outside of that 2x6, and it's making the walls lean to the outside. So we'll loosen them so that we can lean them back to the inside. We'll get our trusses put on, and then we'll tighten these bolts down. But anyways, I'm hungry. Time to eat. All right, everyone. We're actually done early today. We did not make our in-state goal. The walls down there we haven't put up, but we have a community center dinner that we're supposed to attend, so it happens. We'll finish the walls tomorrow morning, and then after we get those walls up, we're gonna take the rest of the day and go do something as a family, because this has consumed our last 3 days, roughly. But purlins are up, so that's a good pause location, I guess, for tonight. But we'll get up early tomorrow, beat the heat, and knock out them walls and the purlins. I think we're gonna assemble the walls with the purlins and the double top plate already on them, and then put them up, because the ladders just don't reach, and it's kind of a pain. Yeah, we'll see.